ISUPK.
Black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen people. Black men, you are the true Israelites. You are from the tribe of Judah. You aren't an African American. So-called Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. You aren't just Hispanics, but you are the chosen people of God according to the Bible and according to historical evidence. You are God's chosen people, but you have been lied to. You have been lied into believing that everybody in this book is white. You have been lied into believing that God is white. You've been lied into believing that Jesus Christ is white. But here in ISUPK, we come to destroy all lies. We come to destroy all lies, and we come to be leaders to the black community. Leaders to the black and Hispanic and Native Indian community. Read that.
Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant?
Is Israel a servant? Who is Israel? Israel is you, black people, Hispanic people, Native Indian people. Are you a servant? Are we homeborn slaves today here in America? Are we content with being slaves? Read again from the top.
Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
For hundreds of years in America, black people have failed. And we have failed because our leaders are homeborn slaves. Our leaders are people who love being slaves. Because there's two different types of slaves. There's a regular slave and there's a homeborn slave. A homeborn slave, he has always been a slave. He has always been a slave. He knows nothing but slavery because he's been a slave his whole life. So he's content with being a slave. He's happy being a slave. And black people have failed in America because we are happy being slaves. We are happy being subservient to the white man. Look at Kanye West. Kanye West is a happy slave. He is a happy slave. He gets in front of Donald Trump and puts the Make America Great Again hat on. And he's shucking jobs for Donald Trump because Kanye West is a happy slave, and the black community has failed because of men like Kanye West.
Right.
Failed because of Uncle Toms, our Uncle Tom leaders who love the white man and hate themselves, love the white race but hate their own people. Read from the top.
Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
Are we meant to be in the black community slaves for the white man? Because whether you know it or not, today we are slaves in America. Even though we don't have chains around our necks, chains around our hands, even though we are picking cotton, we are subservient to America. We are slaves to the white man. We are the bottom class today in America. We are slaves to the white race under this government. But according to the Bible, the Lord has given us so much more. According to the Bible, the Most High has given black people so much more than servitude, so much more than slavery underneath our enemies. Read on.
Why is he spoiled?
Why is he spoiled? Why is Israel spoiled? Why have we become ruined today in America? We have become ruined because of our leadership. We have extremely weak leadership. Who do we look to? Who do we look up to in the black community? Who do we look up to as our heroes? We look up to men like Michael Jackson, like Michael Jordan, like LeBron James. We look up to men like Kanye West. Our leaders in the black community are singers and dancers. Singers and dancers and athletes. That's who we look up to. We ain't got no scientists we look up to. We don't got any politicians. We don't got any true leaders. We have a bunch of singers and dancers and entertainers. And we look to somebody who's good at bouncing the basketball for leadership. We look to him to figure out how we're going to solve poverty. We look to him to figure out how we're going to better educate our children. We look to a bunch of basketball players and football players and singers for our leadership. And that's why we fail today in America, because we have a bunch of high-paid slaves leading us. But we need true leadership here in America. We need men who actually know the Most High, actually know what the Most High wants us to do. Read on.
The young lions roared.
Like that's what. Give me Isaiah 56 verse 10. Isaiah 56 verse 10. Last week the black community was in an uproar. Over Kanye West, as they should have been. Because Kanye West got up there and shut his job for Donald Trump. But what you gotta understand is that the black community should not support any political party. Shouldn't support the Republicans, shouldn't support Donald Trump, shouldn't have supported Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Democrats, no political party, no part of the American government that's for black people. And the black community should reject any politician. The black community should reject any government infrastructure. We should begin to trust in ourselves. We should begin to trust in ourselves. Because every other race of people, every other minority in America trust in themselves. Look at the Asian people. Look at the Arabs. You ever hear any political pundits talking about the Asian vote? You hear anybody talking about the Arab vote? Because nobody cares about the Arab votes, because nobody cares about Arabs voting. The white man trusts in you to get in office. He trusts in other white people, and he trusts in blacks and Hispanics to get in office. He looks to you to get in power. And even though you vote for the white man, you vote for the mayor, you vote for the governor, you still suffer and die in the ghettos of Baltimore. You still suffer and die in the ghettos of Philadelphia and California. All across the earth, you still suffer and die even though you love your enemy so much. Even though you love your enemy so much, you vote and prance, and Kanye West getting the Oval Office and shucking job and we're to make America great again happy. 10 years later, we'll look back at Kanye West and we'll say he was another fool. He was another fool that thought he could shuck his job for the white man, and he thought that if he loved the white man enough, he would love us back. If he loved the government enough, he would love us back. No matter how much you love America, no matter how much you support their government, their politicians, their religions, they will always be against you, black man. They will always be against you, black people, Hispanic people, Native Indian people. You have to learn to love yourself.
That's right.
You have to learn to love yourself, love your own people. Build your own government.
That's right.
Your own infrastructure before you run to the white man. Fix your own problems instead of running to your daddy, the white man.
That's right.
Instead of running to your daddy, Donald Trump, to fix all your problems. Come together as a people. Come together as a people underneath your heritage and fix your own problems.
Isaiah chapter 56 verse 10. His watchmen are blind.
His watchmen are blind. Who are our watchmen in the black community? Who are supposed to look out for the black man? Look out for the black woman, the Hispanics, the Native Indians, our leaders, our religious leaders, and our political leaders. They are supposed to protect us. They're supposed to be our voice. But they are completely incompetent. They have completely failed at leading us. Read from the top.
His watchmen are blind.
His watchmen are blind. The people that are supposed to look out for us are blind. They can't see. They are incapable of looking out for us. Read on.
They are all ignorant.
They are all ignorant. Your pastor in your church is completely ignorant. Your pastor, your priest, your imam knows zero about God. Knows zero about Jesus. Knows zero about whatever you believe in. He is a fool. You know what your pastor knows how to do? Your pastor knows how to say a nice speech. He knows how to say a good speech, and he knows how to sing and dance. He knows how to entertain you. But your pastor does not know how to fix your problems. Your pastor doesn't know how to, and nor does he care about your problems. He doesn't care about your poverty. He doesn't care about the young black men killing each other on the streets. He don't care about the hundreds of thousands of us going to jail throughout the years. All he cares about is that your tithes and donations. He cares about the collection plate. He's just singing and dancing and entertaining you, making you feel good when you go to church on Sunday. So you give him more money. So you give him more money so he can pay his bills and he can give a good life. But he is completely incapable of leading you. Real.
They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark.
They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. What is a dumb dog? Man, in the past, the word dumb meant you couldn't speak. Meaning you had no ability to speak. And what good is a guard dog if a dog is dumb? Meaning a guard dog can't bark. What good is a guard dog if a guard dog can't protect the house? That guard dog is completely useless. Completely useless. And that is all our political leaders. Our political leaders and our religious leaders, they stand with the white man. They stand with our enemies. They don't fight against our enemies. They don't fight for black people. They stand with our enemies. Because the way your pastor thinks, the way your politicians think, your black politicians think, they say, if you can't beat them, join them. If you can't beat them, join them. How can I ever defeat the white man? They say, how can I ever defeat the white man? How can I ever stop the poverty in the black community? How can I ever stop the black on black crime? If you can't beat them, join them. And they just feed into the system. They just feed into what we have been taught for hundreds of years, and they sell out. And they sell out because they think it's just easier to lay down and be cowards for the white man. Lay down and be cowards for the white man when they should be fighting for you, black man. They should be fighting for you, black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman. They should stand for you, but instead they go to the Oval Office. They go to the Oval Office, go to the Oval Office and kiss Donald Trump's behind. They kiss his behind because that's what every good slave does. Every good slave is subservient to his master. And your political leaders, your black leaders, your black priests, your black pastors, they are all good slaves. They are good slaves, and a good slave does not make a good leader. A good slave does not make a good leader. A good slave cannot fight. A good slave cannot fight. A good slave can only serve his master.
Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yea, they are greedy dogs.
They are greedy dogs. And the black community better understand this good. Your religion is just a business. Your religious institutions are not a place you go to learn about God. You don't go there to learn about God. You don't go there to learn about how to change your life, how to do things better. You go there to pay for a service. And what you are paying for is an entertainment. You are paying to be entertained by your pastor. Every time you go into church, every Sunday when you go into church and you sing and dance and you jump up and down and you catch the Holy Ghost and you sing the hymns and the choir sings, that is all a concert. It's a weekly concert by your pastor. And what does he get in return? He gets your tithes and donations. They pass the collection plate around and they get all of your money, because that is all church is, a concert. A concert that you have been made to believe is some type of religious awakening. You think that's the house of God. That's a concert hall. That's not a church. That's not the house of God. The Most High isn't with your pastor. The Most High is not with your pastor any more than he is with Usher, or any more than he is with Chris Brown, or any good singer. He's with them just as much as he is with any good entertainer, because that is all that is happening in church. You are being made to feel good about God. You are being made to feel good about your service to the Most High, but you are not actually following God. Right. When you go to church, you are not actually learning how to follow God when you go to church. You only feel good about God. You only feel good about Jesus.
Yea, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look at their own way, everyone for his gain.
Everyone for his own gain. Everyone for his own gain. Your pastor does not care about you. He cares about his wallet. He cares about his bank account.
Right.
All your politicians do is sit up in a position of power and collect the paycheck. That's what your black politicians do. All the black participation in the political world, and we're still suffering and dying in the ghetto. The black community has had full voting rights. Full voting rights is about 1965. It's about 1965, the black community has full voting rights. And where have we gone since 1965? How far have we come since 1965? The black community is worse since 1965. The black community is worse after the civil rights era. After all the civil rights, after all the voting, after all the protesting and picketing, after all that, we are worse in the black community today. Because our leaders are for their own gain. Do a little research on Martin Luther King. You know why Martin Luther King led the civil rights movement? Because Martin Luther King had a lust. Martin Luther King had a lust for white women. That's why the whole movement exists. Because one man loved white women so much, he wanted to change all the laws. He wanted to change all the segregation laws. I'm not lying, just look it up. Look it up. The FBI has records, audio tapes on Martin Luther King of him having sex with white prostitutes. Him having sex with white prostitutes, and it was something he did all the time because that was the reason for his whole movement. That was the reason for his whole participation in the civil rights movement, is that he loved white women. And all the black community wanted, all we wanted was jobs. All we wanted was to stop getting lynched. We wanted to have a better community. We wanted to be safe. We wanted to come out of poverty. But rich men, powerful men like Martin Luther King, they rose up and all they wanted to do was have sex with white women. So they destroyed their whole nation, destroyed their whole race just for their personal lust. And those are the type of leaders that have led us for hundreds of years in this country. Leaders who only care about themselves but don't care about the community.
I'm not letting nobody tell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it's worth something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, sold packs, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good record. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword.